Hello, my name is Cahir and I am 444 days sober today. And I have just made two videos that you can go back and watch talking about my relationship with alcohol over the years, going from using alcohol as a crutch to escape my feelings to then going to like the definition of a party boy, traveling all around the world, getting jobs in party places, getting paid to get drunk. Then I went on to a bit of a personal growth chapter where I was on and off alcohol for a couple of years to then going to completely alcohol free 444 days ago. In another video, I spoke about my journey over the past 15 months and everything that I've learned, the pros, the cons, etc. So you can go back watch them if you want, but this video is going to be a little Q&A answering questions that people have sent me over Instagram. First question, why did you quit? So if you go back and watch my previous videos, you'll be able to understand in detail why I quit. But quickly touching on it, I had a spiritual experience that I feel like rewired my brain that made me never want to drink again. But up until that moment, I was on and off it for like a couple of years, like a couple of months on, a couple of months off. And I also started really wanting to do well for myself in life. I wanted to create a better life for myself and be a better version of myself. And I realized that every time that I got back into partying, that I kind of lost control and I didn't have good routine or I wasn't doing things that were good for me, and it really just like took me 10 steps back. So it was really just holding me back in life. And now as I've quit, I've realized how it really just disconnects me from myself and my power. The main reason is why I quit fully is I had a bit of a spiritual experience, kind of like a miracle. Was it hard at the start? So if you watch my other videos, like I said, it was hard whenever I went on and off it for like a couple of months. Like I kept saying I was going to quit, and then eventually I would get back into the partying mode, and I would be partying for like months on end, and then sober again, and then months of partying, and then sober again, and it was just never ending cycle. But this time around, whenever I had the spiritual experience that I felt rewired my brain when it comes to my relationship with alcohol, it wasn't hard after that. To be fair, I did drink at an awards ceremony like a couple of weeks after I had that experience because I felt so anxious and overwhelmed. But after that moment, I knew I was done. I genuinely haven't wanted to drink a sip of alcohol since, and to be honest, I don't think I ever will ever again. So for me personally, it wasn't hard to not drink. It might have been hard initially going out and nights out sober, and it took a while getting used to going out and being social and like I said, working on my confidence and things like that there. But in terms of actually drinking, it hasn't been hard for me, but I genuinely do feel like something magical happened for that to be my case, because I know that's definitely not a normal situation. Do I ever miss it, and tips to stay off it? So I don't really miss alcohol. I miss the version of myself that used to drink. So I look back at old chapters like the crazy party version of myself in like Ibiza, or like the crazy gay party version of myself that I had in Sydney. And I look back at these like wild chapters that were so much fun. I had such cool, fun friends, and we just got up to the wildest things and had the wildest times and experiences. And I created memories that will honestly last a lifetime. And I look back at versions like that and I miss those versions of myself. But I really do appreciate where I'm at right now, and to be honest, I feel like I can be as unhinged and as wild now sober because I'm so comfortable in my own skin. Only this time around, I won't be doing things that I might regret the next day. I'll do things that might be a little wild and a little bit unhinged and might feel make me feel a little bit like nervous or uncomfortable or scared, but I do it anyway, and then it turns out to be so much fun. So I think I have a bit more control of my outcomes, if that makes sense. Any tips? I initially, when I first started going out, I would always drink a 0-0. It was always like a habit to have something in my hand, and I'd be drinking 0-0s as if they were like actually alcohol. And sometimes it give me a placebo effect. Like sometimes I'd be out and I'd be like, oh, I feel a little bit tipsy here, or I'd get in my car at the end of the night and I'm like, was I drinking? Like I feel like I shouldn't be driving right now, but even though I was drinking only 0%, I would always say drink 0%. Be with friends who aren't going to judge you, aren't going to try and pressure you. Go to things where you might find more like-minded friends, where you might find people who are also on a sober journey, and maybe go out with them. I think now I've got loads of friends who are also on a similar path. Like I went to 13 festivals in the summer, and majority of them were with friends who also don't drink, so it made it a lot easier for me, because I think I might have struggled if I was around people who are absolutely getting on it and I was sober, you know. Another tip would be drive out, but don't necessarily be the designated driver. I've had a few experiences over the past year or so where I've been on a night out, I've said yes to be the designated driver, and usually on nights out, if I'm really not enjoying myself, I'll just leave and drive home. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, if I'm not having fun, if I feel overwhelmed or anxious, I'll just hop in the car and drive home, because it's happened a few times, because you're around so much energy of different people and it can be overwhelming, you know. But if you're designated driver and you're in a night out and you're not enjoying it, you can't really drive home because you're taking people with you. Like, I went on a night out with my family and we went to like a local pub, and like a local pub was in like 30 minutes of drive, and I really wanted to go home, but I knew I was taking everyone home with me, and I literally had to sit in the car park for like 2 or 3 hours waiting for everyone to finish their night out. Probably could have drove home and drove back, but I didn't know how long they'd be. And when everyone's drinking, obviously they don't want to go home, and I completely understand that. But if you potentially feel like you might not want to stay out all night, just don't be the designated driver. Like, put yourself first in those situations. Do you find it hard to date sober? Initially, yes. Like, oh my goodness, I didn't even talk to a guy for the first 5 months after I quit alcohol. It made me realize that alcohol gave me liquid courage to talk to guys, to flirt with guys, to kiss guys, to pull guys, to whatever. And I honestly realized I had zero confidence when it came to guys, and zero confidence within myself, which I actually was kind of shocked about, because I thought I'd done a lot of inner work. But when it got sober, I realized that I had a lot of work to do. So I really just went inward and started really working on my own inner worth, my own love for myself, and really just get to know myself on a deeper level. And then I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I think I'm pretty cool. So I started dating, and I definitely was tested many times when I was dating by feeling the fear and doing it anyway and pushing myself out there and actually going on dates. As scared as I was, and as much self doubt and stuff was creeping in, the more confident it made me become, and then the easier dating got. And then I feel like I got to a point in the year where I actually felt really secure in myself, and I started to know what I wanted in a guy, and I started to really know my worth. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to settle for any less. I'm not going to lead people on. I'm not going to tolerate any bullshit. And I'm just going to be straight up and honest with people that I'm dating or whatever. And that's what I have been doing. And yeah, to be honest, I feel like my dating life has got way better since going sober. To be honest, I didn't date when I was drinking. Like, I never really dated because I was always just meeting people on nights out and stuff. I never ever, I don't, I can't really remember the last time before I quit alcohol that I got with people sober, which probably isn't that healthy, but I just didn't have any confidence back then. And I also realized that I had a massive fear of sex sober, and that is something that I have still been working on. I still haven't got the confidence just yet, but we're working on it, and I feel like I'm getting there. I'm really pushing myself out of my comfort zone and trying new things and exploring with different guys sober, to really just feel the fear, do it anyway, and become more confident when it came to sex. And I think I'm really getting there, and that's definitely something I've been working on recently, and we're getting there. So my sex life is improving, my dating life is improving, we're improving. Someone said, how do you make sober slash like-minded friends? So I became friends with such amazing people this year. Like, the people that I've welcomed into my life over the past year or so has just been life changing, to be honest. Like, I definitely notice I've drifted from some people that I used to be friends with whenever I drank, but from distancing myself from them unintentionally, it just sort of naturally happened. I have really made space for so many other people into my life. Like, I initially started becoming really good friends with people from going to retreats on my own, or I started going to like festivals that I knew like-minded people would be there. I would go to them on my own, and from doing that, I really just started naturally connecting with people on a deeper level at these festivals who are also sober on similar paths. And from really just going to these things on my own, pushing myself into my comfort zone and trying to make new connections, I really just became friends with so many people who are similar to me, who then have other friends who are similar to me, and then everyone just sort of meets each other, and then you start going to adventures, start going to festivals, all these different people. And honestly, the people that I've met this year, I feel like are really going to be good friends for life. So, and that's a big statement, because I feel like I've said that so many times throughout the years, but then you end up losing touch. But I feel like, yeah, at least a few of them are definitely going to be really close friends of mine for life. And it's really just going and doing things that you definitely know you enjoy, like yoga or ecstatic dancing or like breath work or retreats or the spiritual festivals or whatever. Like, I was just really going to these things on my own a lot of the time, and I just met lots of people in these sort of spaces, you know. And to be honest, also online. Like, I actually have met quite a few of my friends from social media. Like, I obviously make content online, so I've obviously started following other people who also make similar content to me. And then eventually you'll meet them, and then you'll actually get on really well because you are posting similar content, so you do have similar interests. And then eventually you just be like, oh, let's go do this together. Let's do this together. And then eventually they're like, you're spending a lot of time together. So social media actually is such a powerful tool for that. And if you are watching this and you want to find like-minded friends, this is a wee plug for myself. I am creating my business This Year Life at the moment. And next year we're going to have plenty of retreats, plenty of sober parties and activities and events all around Ireland and across the world, but mostly in Ireland in 2026. So if you are wanting to meet like-minded people, then I am going to be holding loads of spaces for people like you and me. So yeah, 2026 is the year for Seer Life. Someone said, do you struggle going out sober and being around people drinking? Depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I really have noticed, this is kind of woo-woo and spiritual, but I really have noticed that I have to protect my energy whenever I go out on nights out. I am very sensitive to other people's energy. So before I go out in environments where there's drunk people, people on drugs, whatever, I am like closing my eyes and meditating, and I'm like protecting myself. I'll talk about it. That's another video if anyone's interested. I'll give you tips on how to protect your energy and things like that. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see that video. But I really protect my energy. I am very sensitive to other people's energies, and I know the implications of people being on drink and drugs and how negative energies can be attracted to people who are drinking and are on drugs. So because of that, I really do need to protect my energy, I feel. I have had a few scary experiences from being sober and witnessing people who are very heavily on drugs, and that really scares me. I don't like being around it. I don't like being around people who are really wiped out at all. I noticed that a few festivals I was at this year, I would stay away from the stages where it's like heavy techno and people are freaking, you know what I mean? Like people are gurning their faces off. That's not what I want to be around. But then again, I've had lovely nights out with really good friends who are like-minded, and they're getting absolutely steaming. Like they love a wee glass of wine, and I'm out having the crack with them. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's all about who you're with, the company you're with, and how like busy places are. Like if somewhere's like super busy and everyone's drunk, I'm not about it. But if I have room to move, room to express myself, room to have the chats, I will have a good night. I can have a good night wherever I am. It's just really depends on how overstimulating the environment can be. Also love going out and having the chats with people, but I also have noticed that if people are getting drunker and repeating themselves or starting to chat the biggest load of shit, I'm like, right, that's my cue to go. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm out of here. So I just hop in my car and leave. It's as easy as that. Or I'll just go for a wee adventure around the club on my own, see if there's any cute lads floating about. Do you ever get urges, and how do you stop yourself? For me personally, no, not really. I think I had like maybe one or two occasions over the past like 15 months where I'm like, I'd like a drink, but I think it was me just really craving a bit of unhingedness, a quick dopamine hit of some sort, and like it was just a passing thought, and then I never really followed through with it. So that was a while ago as well. Like I've genuinely feel like I can't remember the last time I ever thought of even drinking. Like it hasn't even crossed my mind. It just doesn't cross my mind anymore. Like I don't even ever acknowledge the thought of wanting to drink because I just know that the cons way outweigh the pros. And to be honest, I really just like being connected to myself. Like I don't really fancy doing anything that's going to disconnect me from me. Do you save money? For me personally, probably. Actually, I probably have spent less because I've not spent money on drink. But me personally, I'm on a mission right now to become more money responsible, to build a better relationship with money. I haven't been good with money my whole life, and I am now on a mission to be good with money. I bought a van, I traveled around, I made way less money this year than I did last year personally, and yeah, my bank account does not reflect my giving up alcohol. Let's just say that. So yeah, I wasn't good with money, but we're working on it. Do I take drugs? So, like I said in previous videos, I did dabble in substances. Whenever I first started drinking and partying and going wild, I definitely felt like I was living an episode of freaking Skins, and I would have taken stuff that was given to me. And then for a couple of years, I definitely would have got some substance for like nearly every single night out, which obviously is not good for you. Obviously, it's not healthy in the slightest. But in recent years, as in whenever I was drinking, I would never really have took anything. I was really grateful that I never enjoyed chemicals like snowflake, cocaine, because it just didn't make me feel good. It made me feel like I was in my ego, and it really made me anxious and overwhelmed. So I'm really grateful that substances like that just didn't agree with me, because they're highly addictive and I do have an addictive personality. But I was a raver and I did enjoy some substances like MDMA or ketamine at that time in my life. Whenever I was a raver, I did dabble and stuff like that. But In more recent years, I never really took anything. I just drank usually. Maybe the very odd occasion if someone offered me something at like a festival or something, I would have taken it. But then as I quit alcohol and I realized that alcohol disconnects me from myself, I also realized that chemicals that are man made are also disconnecting you from yourself and lowering your vibration. They might make you on a high when you're on them, but after you crash and it's just too much consequences. So for me, I stopped all anything chemical or anything that is going to disconnect me from myself. I just stopped taking. But if you deem anything that comes from Mother Earth, I would say it's plant medicine. But if you would say mushrooms or marijuana or anything that is natural from Earth is a drug, then yes, I would occasionally take that. But the difference is all the chemical stuff disconnects you from yourself, lowers your vibe, and for me personally, just doesn't agree with me anymore. However, I feel like if you take, say, mushrooms in the right environment, if you're safe to take it, if you set intentions and you use it as a tool for your own inner growth, your own inner work, to connect you to yourself, to heal parts of yourself, to connect with different parts of your brain or whatever it may be, if you set intentions and do it safely and correctly, I wouldn't be opposed. I have definitely used weed and mushrooms and other tools like ayahuasca as beautiful parts of my own evolution, my own journey, my own personal growth, and they've really, really, really helped me personally. I'm not going to recommend it to anyone, but for me and my own growth, it definitely has played a massive part. I do only take it if I'm feeling called. I don't take it frequently. It's only whenever I'm feeling called, and it really has been a powerful tool for my own journey. And I think they're beautiful, beautiful tools if taken correctly and safely and with love. Do zero zeros make you want to drink alcohol? For me personally, no. I was never like, I was going to say I didn't have a problem with alcohol, but I feel like majority of people who drink have a problem with alcohol because if it has any way a negative impact in your life, that's a problem. But I wasn't like wanting to wake up and have a drink of alcohol for breakfast. I wasn't like drinking alcohol to do things throughout the day. I didn't need it for that. So I didn't have that type of relationship in recent years. Maybe when I first was going through a bit of a rough patch, I might have, but in recent years, definitely not. So whenever I drink zero zeros, I'm just doing it because it gives me placebo, makes me feel like I'm with everyone else drinking. Don't really do it as much anymore, to be fair. But when I first started, definitely use zero zeros to help me on nights out. Do you find it hard to not drink when life gets difficult? For me, no. I never used alcohol in recent years as a coping mechanism or as a vice for whenever life got hard. For me, my vice is sugar. Anytime that life gets difficult for me, I just really get a sweet tooth and want to get sweets and chocolate to numb anything that's coming to the surface or to make me feel better. So my vice was always sugar. Sugar is something I'm really trying to cut down on and let go of. I've had a similar spiritual experience recently that I had with alcohol has really tried to make me stop eating sugar, like artificial sugar, but I lasted 3 weeks and now I'm back on it. So it's a one that I'm working on. But yeah, sugar was always my vice. I never really used alcohol as a tool in recent years whenever life got hard. So, not for me. How do you deal with people saying, why are you not drinking? Firstly, if friends in your life are trying to pressure you to drink whenever you say you're not drinking, I would really reconsider that friendship. Like, if any of my friends were questioning why I wasn't drinking, I'd be like, what is your intentions here? Like, are you being triggered by the fact that I'm trying to better or improve my own life? Like, what is the issue here? I would honestly have an open and honest and serious conversation with that friend of being like, wise up, like what's going on here? Why are you being triggered? Or I would just reconsider the friendship. I personally don't have any friends in my life that even tried to force me to drink, like none. So I'm very grateful for that. But I know people have different experiences. If someone does be like, why don't you drink? Like you do get asked that a lot. Just be like, I just want a better life for myself, or I just felt like drinking really held me back in life. Sometimes they give the whole rundown, lowdown. I'm like, yeah, I was a crazy party boy, getting paid to get drunk in Ibiza, blah 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 blah. And then this happened and this happened. Like I spoke about, I sometimes do if I'm feeling like it's the right time to do it. I give a little bit of a story, but if it's just a random person that you don't really feel the need to tell them everything, just be like, I just feel like it was holding me back, or just doesn't feel like it aligns with me anymore. Simple as that. Also, when I first stopped, I noticed whenever I say I'm not drinking, people might try and pressure you. Whereas if you say I don't drink, like don't drink, people don't even try, So, final question: has your life changed much since you quit? My life has completely transformed. I would say the past year and a bit has been the most transformational year of my life. It has really allowed me to go inward, to face my shadows, to be courageous enough to look at all the icky parts of myself, to feel what needs to be felt, to let go of what needs to be let go of. But also, it's really made me deeply connect with myself. It's made me realize how powerful I am, how confident I am, how much belief I have in myself and the universe or God, and how much trust I have in it all. And I really have had such profound, magical, mystical experiences. I've opened up psychic abilities that I didn't even know were humanly possible. And I've really just been on such an incredible journey. And I don't think any of that would have been possible if I kept drinking, because it just really disconnects me from myself and makes me avoid all of the shit that was going on inside, you know? So this year has been the most transformational year of my life. I would also go as far as saying it might have been one of the best years of my life. I had just such beautiful experiences. I had moments where I was like, I am living heaven on earth. Like, it was so beautiful. But it was also challenging at the same time, but a challenge that was needed to be had, you know? And yeah, now we're going into 2026. I have massive visions for this year. I'm feeling super excited about it all, and I'm really just ready to get stuck into building the life of my dreams that I genuinely never even thought was possible when I drank. So yeah, we're on this path. I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited for the next couple of weeks just to chill, be at home for Christmas, and be with my family and friends. And yeah, sending y'all so much love. If you are super curious, if you're on a personal development path, a spiritual path, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be posting loads of really fun, valuable videos. And yeah, we can go on this journey together, lads. But yeah, sending love, happy Christmas, and chat soon. Bye.